last night, Missouri lawmakers repeal Prop A. In that moment, my heart dropped.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Missouri, last year in 2024 during their election, they passed a ballot measure, and we've been talking about ballot measures, during the show a little bit, and how from Alabama we are kind of, we're jealous of states that have ballot measures because it is such a cool opportunity to be able to, as citizens, go directly to your fellow citizens, not about a politician or a political party, but about an issue. You get to say, as a citizen, I think our society should be run more along these lines instead of the lines that it is run along right now. Will you sign a petition to get this ballot measure on the ballot so that we can vote on it, so that we can decide, not the politicians, so that we can decide? And that's what they did in Missouri. They had a ballot measure called Prop A that did a big suite of things, but particularly it offered paid sick leave. It wasn't very much. I think it was like a couple of weeks or something. It wasn't a lot, but paid sick leave. It said if you're going to be an employer in Missouri, you have to offer paid sick leave to your employees. And it increased the minimum wage, and it tied the minimum wage to inflation. That way we don't have to keep having this debate about the minimum wage. Everybody agrees, or most people agree, that there should be a minimum wage, and most people agree that it should be higher than $7 an hour. And so so they said in Missouri in this ballot measure, let's increase it, and then let's just peg it to inflation. That way we don't have to keep doing this whole thing over and over and over again. And those both seem like super, super common sense sort of things. People who get sick should be able to take time off from work to recover. Okay? That should be a bare minimum sort of thing. People who, and if you're going to be a business, you should offer a minimum rate of pay, and we should set that to inflation so that we don't have to keep having the debate. Well, even though that passed overwhelmingly by 58%. I mean, that is such a high percentage that if either party won by that percentage in the November elections, they would have Obama-level supermajorities in the House and Senate, right? They could overcome the filibuster. And so this is, 58%, especially in American political life, is overwhelming. That is a huge majority of Missourians wanted paid sick leave for workers and a higher minimum wage, and they wanted the minimum wage to be indexed to inflation. Well, even though workers in Missouri voted for that, overwhelmingly, the politicians in Missouri didn't like it. And so last week, I kid you not, the politicians in Missouri voted to overturn this ballot measure, repealing the paid sick leave portion and removing the indexing to inflation of the minimum wage increase. And so the minimum wage is still going to increase, but it's not going to be indexed to inflation. So we're going to have to keep having this debate in Missouri. And they completely removed the paid sick leave. And it's just so gross.
Hey, 5 seconds, just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
Workers who were involved in the Missouri Workers Center participated in a rally at the Capitol to oppose, to make their opposition known against this, against the repeal of this ballot measure that, again, passed overwhelmingly. Here is a low-wage worker in Missouri talking about how this feels to him.
Yesterday, while many were talking about a $400 million jet or thinking about a trial going on in New York City, I turned on my news 7:49 p.m. last night. Missouri lawmakers repeal Prop A is what I read. In that moment, my heart dropped. My stomach had this sick feeling to it. I thought about not only the days I went to work sick, the days I had to take my children to work with me with 100-degree fever because I did not have the ability to take off and take care of my loved ones and myself. I thought about Miss Carolyn, a worker I worked with at Pizza Hut who came to work sick on our shift and went home that night and died because she did not have the ability to take off and get better. Make no doubt, the decision that was made yesterday was a fatal decision. It will cost lives and it will harm our communities. Imagine having the audacity, the nerve to take away paid sick days when you as a lawmaker have that ability on our tax dollar to take days off. I'm not going to keep. Everybody feels the anger that I feel today. We don't even have to hide it.
And that anger is righteous and justified. I mean, it is just so gross to be a politician. And, you know, I mean, it's one thing to have these debates within the legislature and, you know, say like, oh, I want to vote in favor of a minimum wage increase. I want to vote in favor of paid sick leave, or I don't, and these are my arguments. But at the point that the people have voted for it, then you just have to say, whatever it is, you just have to say, okay, well, that's, that is what it is. Let's maybe, we can revisit this in a few years if we still, if we don't feel like the debate is kind of adequately settled. But, the people have voted, and so, let them have what they wanted, right? Even if you think it's bad, even if you think it's not ideal, like when you have such a direct ballot measure like this, you have to allow it to go through. I mean, unless it's something like blatantly unconstitutional or, something just totally ridiculous. But this is fairly within the province of the state to do. And it is not some radical thing. I mean, it's pretty standard stuff that most industrialized countries have for all of their workers. And so, it's just so gross. And, I mean, like this brother said, I mean, this is going to negatively impact the health of Missouri's workers, and probably it will kill some people, right? It will kill some people because they will not feel comfortable taking the time off that they need to recover. And it's going to end up, he said he knows somebody that has died because she did not have paid sick leave. And so I just don't understand how they kind of live with themselves doing stuff like this. It really does not make any sense to me.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.